Hello, everyone. Today is August 26, 2025, and I'm here to bring the YouTube reading for the collective. And so I would like to go ahead and clear our space and energy by ringing the meditation symbol, and then we can get started. I welcome in my spirit guides and holy angels in the highest and greatest good. I welcome messages of love and light that bring healing and love to all. Please bless this reading. Thank you. All right, guys. So I hope everyone is doing well. And so before I get into today's reading, I wanted to bring forth some information that I've come across. This actually came from another YouTube channel on near-death experience. And I really feel that some of these steps that I would like to bring forward it's a part of the mission. It's a part of bringing the collective to a higher states of consciousness. Also, to learn more about oneself. And I really feel as if this is actually a good guide to kind of stand by when you're going through your day-to-day life. And so the first step here is to be authentic. Okay, so if you feel in the slightest bit in your heart of hearts and how you present yourself or how you feel, like, are you being truly authentic? Are you lying to yourself in some way? The number two, I guess, thing is that Earth is a school. And so, if you feel that, this place is kind of like weird or different, or you just feel like you feel out of place, I really feel as if everyone came to planet Earth to learn something. And I feel as if that there's a lot to learn by choosing a life that you were born into. Like, if you can go back to your childhood days up until, like, the middle of your life, up until, like, olden days, depending on how old you are, then you can kind of see glimpses and flashes of your life and, like, the experiences that you lived and where you're at today. And what are the things that happen in your personal life that has brought you up into the present moment? And the thing that really got to me is that if you think that you're having a bad day, if you're thinking that, why are you living? Well, I really feel like life is a gift, and we're all gifted this ability to learn more about love. Okay, which is the next step. The next one is to love everyone. Now, I know that this is really hard for a majority of the ones watching this. I mean, unless, you have attained enlightenment, which is like the highest form of wisdom. Like, let's just say the karmic. Okay, let's just put it like that. Now, as you know, like, if we bring up like the karmic, then automatically you may feel some sort of resentment or hatred or dislike towards the person. But in recent I guess, in recent channelings that I have done, I realized that that is like minimal. Like, for you to waste time thinking of the karmic or not liking, how your twin is interacting with the karmic, um, it's really minuscule to like the bigger scope in life. And so everyone has a story. So when you learn to love, you're actually repairing like your DNA, down to the cellular level. And as you know, like love is a frequency, a vibration. And when you're emitting that love of vibration, then people around you will start to shift and change. Okay. And some of that good love is actually kind of contagious. And so you can give that love towards other people. Okay. Um, Love is healing. And so the next one is to use your inner voice, which is like connecting with spirit and using your intuition. And so when you allow yourself to connect to your higher self or through your spirit guides, that is like another form of frequency, that you can really achieve. And just like being a good person, okay? I feel like these are all the steps in like attaining how to free yourself from the attachment of twin flame connection. Okay. But in hopes that if you're wondering about the twin, hoping that the twin is also doing the same, because we're all interconnected, right? And so the next one is your relationship to technology. And by using technology, it can do one of two things. It could either lift you up or bring you down. So it's actually advisable that, when you wake up and then before you go to sleep, that you set good intentions, positive vibrations. Try not to read or listen to anything negative, because that actually can be like a subconscious programming on how your day will be. Okay. In the present moment. So you don't want to perpetuate, like, if you keep watching negative stuff, then negative stuff, is in your vibration, very similar to the heart frequency, and how, like, that a level of vibration is different than a vibration of fear, anger, and things like that. So, what I'm saying is that there is like a science, like a neuroscience, to different states of consciousness, whether it's in the higher realms, like joy, happiness, like enlightenment, things of that, or the lower states, which is anger, resentment, and anything that is negative, right? Sadness. So if you're mindful of, being true to yourself, accepting the learning lessons, okay, because I really feel that there is karma, through each and everyone is connected through karma. So just be mindful of how you are using technology, especially with AI, okay, which is a whole nother story. And then the next bit is to release prejudice. So even if, you just say that you're not prejudiced, but you're prejudiced against other people who are prejudiced against others, that is the same. So try to remove any form of prejudice, because that doesn't make you any better. Okay. Two, because that's almost like detesting or just going against, um, anyone or shape or form. It's a negative vibration. And then the next bit here is to control your thoughts. If we can control our thoughts, we can control outcomes. So if you're prone to thinking negative thoughts, stop yourself. Now, if you've been with me on this channel, I always speak of, the moment that some kind of negative thought enters into your mind, you want to change and transmute that energy into something positive. Okay. For some, it is really hard and difficult because you don't want to, to overcome that negative thought. But if you can overcome it and transform and transmute it, then you can control the outcome. You don't have to be in a continual state of hate, of resentment, of sadness, anger, and so on and so forth. The other thing here is to avoid a negative influence. So again, this is just like going on technology, or maybe these are friends and family who are negative in nature. If you're surrounded by negativity, make sure you remove yourself from that environment. And if you're in a situation where you're living with them and you can't just, get up and go, try to create space so that you have time for yourself outside of that environment and work your way to remove yourself from those situations. Because if you stay in an environment that is negative, it will continue to be negative, especially if the people that you're surrounded by, like let's say that you're embodying like a state of love and light, and your love and light is not vibing with the other people that you're surrounded by. So if there's one or two things. It's either they try to go against the love and light that you're projecting, and they will make you feel a certain way. So it's not about winning a battle here. It's about just being authentic, standing your ground and not losing your footage. That's why when we do like Reiki sessions, you always want to ground yourself and be clear, because anything that is off alignment within your body, the vessel that is housing your soul, your essence, can throw you off in a physical way. So you always want to just find peace within yourself, and have compassion for those who don't understand, because that makes you a person who is coming from wisdom, or knowledge. The other thing here is, I believe that this has so evil has a purpose in life. So let's just say that the evil thing is like a friend or a family member, and they do nothing but ill will. So basically, that person is karmic in nature, right? It's actually teaching you what you need to know based off of this situation. Like, how would you handle it? How would you be able to, hold yourself and stand your ground, and also be in a place of authenticity? Because if you were not authentic, then you probably would falter, right? So I just wanted to put some of these ideations, these thoughts out to collective, kind of like a refresher course, just to kind of like make sure that everyone is on track and you're doing your thing, and just being in a space of love and light, not the woo-woo type stuff, but being authentically in your heart space, and also connecting with spirit, which gives you more power and wisdom over those who, I want to say, are ignorant, okay, who don't know. Because if they did know, then they would know better not to act in those ways. So these are just ways of being an example or a leader, and how, like, good overcomes evil. And then the final one is that we are all one. Okay, this goes in alignment with, we are all interconnected. So, like, there's like this example of politics, there's this example of being judgmental, like thinking of one way and other person is thinking another way. And what this is that we all have to learn how to be compassionate, okay, and just be open to other people's, like, thoughts, their opinions, and let everyone learn on their own, okay? Because if a person is not in this energy of receiving, let's just say, wisdom, enlightenment, or what, we feel are those things, then there could be like, you know, uh, like this a negative feeling that is coming through. So, if you can come from a place of understanding, then the world will go round, right? The world will be a better place. And so, with all of this awareness of being authentic, understanding that Earth is a school, and that we're here to, like, practice love, not only to others, but I always talk about loving oneself, okay? We have so much technology in our space. Like, I'm a techie girl, like, I write code almost on a daily basis. And so, like, if you can refrain from, like, any kind of negative energy and just, invoke positivity, that is all energetics, okay? So just be mindful of that and control your thoughts. Make sure that they're of the highest vibration. If you think of anything negative, make sure you turn that down and just say, hey, this isn't good. Why am I feeling this way? Doesn't matter, like, in the end, because anger takes so much more energy than a state of love and peace. And then just release all prejudice and avoid negativity, negative influence. And just understand that if you come through like a negative thing, take that moment to learn from it, okay? Not to engage or to let it consume you within your day. And just know that we are all one, okay? We're in it together, which is like a state of, like, unity consciousness, okay? That's just like being aware of your neighbor, being aware of, like, the karmic, being aware of, people who do so much wrong. And because everyone has a story as to the reasons why, they do these things. And so, yeah, so just be in a place of like expansion of love and light. And so, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this week's reading. Okay, so for this week, I would like to go ahead and use my tarot visions. And then also, I found this deck. It's called Work on Self. So we'll see, like, what messages want to come through. And finally, postcard from Spirit. Okay, so let's see. Spirit and Holy Angels, what is the energy that is coming through for the collective divine masculines? What does the feminine need to know about their divine counterpart at this moment? How are they currently thinking of you? How are they feeling? What is it that they want, and what is the outcome? What I'm hearing and seeing is that divine masculine is actually appreciating like the lessons that they have learned. And what I'm feeling is that, whatever the last interaction was, or maybe in the distant past when you first met with one another, um, they appreciate the love that you've actually given them at that moment in time. And what I'm hearing is that, they had to go through like a karmic experience, a karmic relationship to get to the point of where they're at today. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so masculines, they're holding back from communicating to the feminine. And this is in regards to like a relationship, okay? Having something in a commitment way, okay? They're starting to see that they can't just come back and offer you like something so deep, because I feel as if they've already been through it before with a previous partner. And as I'm saying this, I'm picking up like someone's eating a baked potato with butter. I don't get that. I don't know if someone's having seafood with it, but I definitely am, or maybe work in that environment. But yeah, baked potato with butter, guys. Who is that? Moving on. So they're actually holding back from offering this to the feminine. So how are they feeling? Yeah. So like I said, they are stuck in the past, and you know their intuition is telling them, and then I really feel that this is ego, that maybe you don't want them. Okay, maybe they did too much damage to come back to the feminine. They really don't know what to do. um, and here again we have your Knight of Pentacles, just being dishonest. So maybe they stuck with the karmic for the wrong reasons. Maybe it was for financial freedom. Maybe they thought that they would gain more for being with the feminine. I'm also hearing that um, the karmic, okay, was probably wealthy in some sort of way, or maybe they were the breadwinner, um, and that's the reason why that your divine counterpart decided to stick with um, that energy, because they felt like grass was greener on that side. Okay, but we all know that it was temporary. Maybe it lasted for some time, but then they were just holding on because that was the decision, or that was the choice that they had made. So right now, they want to communicate to the feminine that they miss you. Okay. Um, they don't feel good. They feel like they're not good enough. So again, these are like very similar energies that I picked up on the last week's reading, how they feel like they weren't good enough. They don't know if you would take them back, and they're probably like rehashing like those past times, because this person clearly remembers the good old days. Okay, like maybe the love that you guys have shared for one another. They definitely want to tell you this, okay, in a very clear and authentic way. And so, in the outcome, yeah, they're very clear that, to the feminine, they find you very attractive, very sexy or handsome. And they're very thankful for those lessons in life. They're very thankful for those times that you guys shared in the past. I'm really hearing that this person really wants to come back. They don't know if you want them back. And what I'm hearing is that, for some of my feminines, you've moved on. Um, but now that, they're at a place of appreciation, they realize how much you really mean to them. okay, in a more deep and profound way. And for some, this masculine did not tell the feminine this, okay? This is like, to their understanding in this point in time in 2025, that they're coming to the realization that you mean so much to them more than you know. So the challenge is like, how are they going to have like this new opportunity to come together with the feminine? For some, this is like, with family. This could be like, combining families if both you guys have children. They definitely feel that there's a lot of obstacles that could come in the way of you guys having like this happy reunion, okay? But they have like this opportunity to make some sort of offer from what I can see. So they're coming with up with a plan. They're letting go of the stress, okay? So I talked about this earlier on. Okay, so if you're stressed over a situation, you have to figure out, why are you stressed? Like, what is the thing that is holding you back? Is it because fear of not good of being good enough? Maybe, the masculine did something bad towards the feminine, and again, I see here compassion. Okay, having compassion and having forgiveness. They're trying to figure out how they can learn to let go of the past so that they feel really good. So again, this is an energy. This is a frequency. If this person came in and they were in a state of love, okay, unconditional love, not in a place of fear, because of rejection or anything like that. Do you see how the difference of vibration is if you were to come in into those two states of consciousness? It makes a big difference. That's why, people who have balls, or, or um, people who have healed themselves, okay, have a better chance at rekindling a connection with their twin than someone who has not, someone who is still hurt, someone who is still harping on the past. Okay. I also feel like it's okay to have a conversation to heal the past, but everyone here has free will, whether or not they want to choose the connection with the twin or not. But I'm also hearing that whether or not that let's say the divine masculine, if the divine masculine made peace with the feminine, then everyone would be in a state of harmony, whether or not the feminine would take the masculine back or not. Okay. Um, I really feel that, once you build trust and authenticity, then everyone can come back into alignment, okay, which is talking about like the heart connection. That's why I always speak of, there's two states of intelligences. One is the heart intelligence, the other is the mind intelligence. Okay, they kind of work hand in hand because number one, you can control thoughts. Also, you can also control how you feel. Okay, so yeah, look at this bottom of the deck. We have here the Tower. So there's a sudden change in the masculine about this fear of leaving their past behind in order to be completely happy. But they're not even sure if you will take them back. Okay, that's why they're disappointed. Why? Possibly because they had addictions of the past. Maybe they know that they were wrong, and maybe that's a part of their karma. But also, it should also be in a state of acceptance, okay, awareness. How could they improve for the next person in line, right? I really feel like, even if the twins don't come together in a physical union, I always talk of like a soulmate will come. Okay, the soulmate is a better match to the twin if you guys are in the same alignment. Okay, because it's all about vibration and frequency. And then, Yeah, so I see here that, they feel bad because they backstabbed the twin. Okay, they possibly said goodbye. They probably married or went off in a different direction, and that's why they're sad, because now there's conflict, there's competition. Also, there could be financial loss for thinking that grass was greener on that side, and now finding out, oh, okay, well, there's a price to pay when you make a choice or decision. Okay, so that's why they don't know what to do. They also know that they were not in the highest vibration. Okay, like greed is a low vibration, and now they want to break free. Now they want to either get a divorce if they're in a marital situation, or they want to free themselves from anything that's holding them back. Okay, and so I definitely see here that Divine Masculine wants to talk to the feminine about the past and about forgiveness. Okay, like I really feel like between now and to the end of the eclipse season, if the twins have not come together and asked for forgiveness, or try to make try to find closure from anything of the past, I feel like this is the best time, because you don't want to move forward. You don't want to perpetuate this into 2026. Might as well rip off the Band-Aid and get it done, right? Um, yeah. That's like the Scorpio and Capricorn in me. Also, like the Virgo in me that is coming through, I believe, in this reading. But that's what I have. So let's go ahead and see, how can we work on ourselves. So Spirit and Holy Angels, how can this collective work on themselves in this present moment? What is it that they need to know? How can they work on themselves to be a better person, as a better sentient being? Okay, so there's a lot. The first one that came out is creativity. Let's be artistic. So if you're a creative person, get it out, and like paintings, drawings, music, writing, poetry, whatever your niche is in the creative field. Okay. Also, kindred spirit, share your feelings with someone you can relate to and trust. So, this could be a friend, this could be towards your higher self. Sometimes it's good to be vulnerable, okay? Be authentic. Like, because once you get that out of your system, then you're more free. You're not holding on to the feeling that is keeping you stuck, okay? And for some, perhaps you're not aware of it, because you're in your state of consciousness. But if you dig deeper into your subconscious, perhaps there's some things that you would like to speak about with your kindred spirit. And again, we have here the higher self. Connect with me. This is spirit wanting to ask the collective, and I talked about this before. This is about using your inner voice. Okay, if you didn't skip the whole first part of this video, then I was speaking about using your inner voice, connecting with spirit, using your intuition. Okay, because that is like a higher vibration. Okay, that is more authentic. That is like a pure form of the message that wants to come through. So connect with the higher self, connect with the kindred spirit, be creative. Look, we have trust issues, which is about being authentic. Who hurt you? Release it and be open to change. Okay, this could be anyone, anything. This could be, speaking to your twin about the trust issues. Okay, how did this person hurt you? How did you hurt them? It could go both ways. Talk about it, write about it. Okay, be creative. I really feel like this is a time for purging. Okay, be open and See if you can change and lift your vibration, okay? And look, we have aura. This is beautiful. Cleanse your aura. I was talking about this earlier, okay, before the actual card reading. And this is about like really like connecting with your chakras, making sure you're grounded, and also like, you know, if you don't also know, I sell these bath salts. It's on my Etsy shop. And the whole purpose of me making those bath salts is to clear your aura, your auric field of any kind of negative energies. And so, I mean, if you guys are interested in taking a spiritual bath, you're more than welcome to take a look. I have to make an order today because someone actually got those bath salts. But you can clear your aura through either hypnotherapy, you can do it through a Reiki session, you can also do it like a self-guided kind of like a meditation to go through each of your chakras to clear your auric field. Okay, you can do any of those. Just as long as you're open and you're connecting with your higher self, okay, or your kindred spirit to help guide and assist you to cleanse your aura, okay. That's what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and see what is the final message that Spirit wants you to know. What is the final message here, Spirit? What is the message that you have for the collective? Okay, so it says, dearest you, since you're on Earth, you understand how buildings are built, yes? A good solid foundation and yet flexibility too in case of earthquakes. Truth be told, you can't offer something sustainable unless it is built from a solid base. I was talking about grounding, okay, grounding, which is your root chakra. And then whether it be an idea that takes form one step at a time or an actual house that needs a sturdy foundation dug, poured, and built. We want to remind you of this because you might need a little encouragement to see this is true in your life at this time. Celebrate the fact that right now you can repair the cracks in the foundation of your life effortlessly, as well as do general site check to ensure your hard work is being well supported. Do this and know you are building your life on a perfect and sound foundation that will allow you to welcome the many miracles waiting to come to visit. We're so happy for you and so intrigued by what you're building. You know, I really feel like this is about building yourself, building your integrity, building your state of authenticity, you know, like learning to like do like self cleaning, which is this auric cleanse. Okay, really cleanse your aura, you know, connect with the higher self and really release and let go of anything that is negative in your mind, in your body, whatever the thing is. Because once you have a solid foundation, then you're welcome to receive like visitors or maybe the twin or whoever, okay, that is also on a solid foundation. So that's what I have for this week, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it and received the message well. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at www.scorpiomoonintuition.com. You can also follow me on IG at Scorpio Moon Intuition. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.